So we're talking about the new Ratchet and Clank. Let's start by what your goals were heading into this new PSN title.
Sure. Well, when we started Full Frontal Assault, we were thinking a lot about some of the battlefield levels from past games. And one that really stood out to us was Krell Canyon from Ratchet Clank: A Crack in Time. What we really liked about that was how wide open it was and how players felt like they had a lot of choices they could make. You were fighting the Agorians in that level, but just the fact that you could hover boot around the level and kind of do objectives in a different order, there was a lot of freedom and openness in it. And so that was an early piece of inspiration. We were looking at that and kind of saying to ourselves, wow, can we expand on that? Can we build on that?
And when it comes to building on that, talk about what's unique about the gameplay experience people will be engaging in.
Sure. I mean, one of the biggest things that people will see in this, especially Ratchet fans, is that the levels just are bigger. I mean, there are some of the largest spaces that we've had before, and there are so many opportunities to go down this path, take this thing out in this order. The other thing that we always say is like there are more like decisions per second in this game than like any Ratchet game before. You are picking up weapons on the battlefield as you're exploring. You're finding gold bolts. You're collecting bolts. You're attacking enemy positions. Then the last thing that we have is the base defense aspect of it. So in Full Frontal Assault, the enemies don't just kind of sit back and wait for you to come attack them. They're actually going to mount attacks periodically at your base. So when you're exploring the level and doing all these things, at the back of your mind, you always have to remember, hey, is my base in good enough shape? Am I going to have to go back there? Like, what's going to happen next? And I think that there's some very interesting and unique tension that comes out of that.
Can you talk about, because Ratchet and Clank's always been very much about gadgets and cool toys, what you guys are adding to the equation with this game?
Well, in this game, gadget-wise, we brought back the hover boots, which was probably one of our favorite gadgets ever, and we've done a few things to it to make them even easier to use than ever before. Again, the levels are really big. You need to move around quickly, and I don't know. After playing with them for the last year or so, like I wish I had them in every game. So we've kind of like taken them and put a few tweaks in there to make them better than they've ever been before. And a lot of that's true with weapons. A lot of the weapons will be familiar to fans because we've kind of picked and choose from ones that we really liked in the past. And a couple of them we've looked at and said, I don't know if this totally fits Full Frontal's gameplay style, so we're going to change it up. One big example is the cryo shot, which is it has like an ice projectile that in just a couple shots you can freeze enemies. And it's just because that like fit the gameplay so well, and it is really fun to use.